Hello, my friends. It's Sunday. It's time for us to do some weekly review and prepare for the week. I'm going to start with US 100, which is basically the Nasdaq. And starting on the monthly chart, we can see that we closed the monthly pretty bullish, right? That was a massive bullish pin bar here on the monthly. We came to test this sort of support area here, and we held it beautifully, right? And we found a very nice reaction out of it, which it's what we want to see, right? The other thing here is that this low was basically the 50% retracement of this leg. Okay, so you can see here 50%, exactly 50% of this whole leg. So this is just a normal pullback inside of a bull market, right? High, 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 low, high, 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 low, right? And then now basically everyone is waiting for this higher high, okay? But if we go down on time frame, if we go to maybe weekly, you can see that we are approaching an area that maybe is going to be a trouble area, because we found resistance here, we found resistance here, we broke in here, and then we found support, and then all those weeks here we found support, okay? Then we broke again, and then here we found resistance. So now we are approaching this area, we are touching the area, and I'm expecting some resistance, right? Especially with this extension. Okay, so we are very extended into an area that was support and resistance a few times. So I'm not gonna be super bullish right now, because we are not in a high time frame area of support. Actually, we are in a high time frame area of resistance. On the daily chart, you can see that we already started to create some sort of reversal bar patterns, right? So this bearish pin bar on the daily, it's an indication that the sellers are starting to come in. And then you can say, yes, Davi, but look at this bar, it's very bullish. We faked this, the short sellers. Now it's time to go up. But I can find some examples here. Let me have a look. Here, for example, right? You can see you had some sort of bearish pin bars on the daily. Then the very next day was a bullish bar, and then the day after was a bearish bar, you know? So I'm expecting some sort of battle here, something like this, you know? And then let's see who's gonna win these battles, if it's gonna be the bulls or the bears, right? Obviously, looking at the monthly, probably it's gonna be the bulls. You know, we held support pretty nicely. This is a very, very strong momentum move, and looks like the bulls are in control right now. But again, anything can happen, right? And as a traders, we need to prepare for all scenarios. And another scenario that can happen is, for example, this is the top, and we are creating a topping pattern. So this is the high, and then we made lower low, right? And then maybe we're gonna create a lower high and then a lower low. Okay, that could happen as well. So we need to be prepared for all scenarios. My time frame of preference is 5 minutes. So I'm gonna jump straight to the 5 minute here to tell you guys what I'm gonna look for this week. I'm gonna be looking for some shorts if we some sort of break this level, create some sort of range, you know, false break, and then definitely this could be a level for me, an area for me to look for shorts. Either way, I'm also, you know, I know we are in a sort of uptrend, and then if we sort of come down to this level, false break, you know, reclaim, I'm definitely gonna be looking for longs. So this week I'm gonna be paying attention at these two levels for now, at least on Monday, and I'll see what's gonna happen for me, this level and then this level, okay? And also, if the momentum continues, I'm not gonna be doing like break and retest or any sort of breakout sort of trades, you know, because I think the breakout trades, breakout retests already happened all over here, you know, and then now that we are in this high time frame resistance area, we should be careful with those strategies for longs at least. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen if we come to this level. I think maybe if these things continue to extend and then goes through this level, there could be a nice reversal pattern here for us to find a short. So that's another scenario that I'm gonna be looking for this week. All right, so let's go to next. It's gonna be, we're gonna be looking at German 30. let me change this market from DAX to actually German 30. I think it's gonna be just easier. Maybe D at 40. Let's go to this market. Actually, D at 30. I prefer Oenda. Let's go to Oenda. Let's go again monthly, and then here on the monthly, same thing. Okay, the monthly bar, it's a very bullish bar, but again, it's just like a very extended move, and we don't usually V-shape like that. You know, I'm expecting some sort of resistance and battle here. I don't expect this thing to just do this continue this crazy move. But the monthly, you know, the bulls won, right? We came again, support, right? We came to that support. You can see resistance, we break, and then we found support, and then support, all right? So now, let's see what's gonna happen. Obviously, a sort of a breakout, a clean breakout of this level is gonna be a nice break and retest, I think, on a smaller time frame, at least, you know, for a scalp. But yeah, this market here on a weekly, on a daily, there is not much to do because this is a V-shaped pattern. And usually a nice pattern that comes from V-shapes, it's a pattern called Captain Hook. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but in my Instagram, I explained this strategy, if you follow me there. But basically is we create the V-shape, then we create the hook in here, okay? Which is basically a cup and handle. It's basically a range, a pullback in here. And then if we do this, it's a nice pattern to go long, put your stop below that low, and then we go at least for 1-to-1, okay, on that. I think it's a good pattern, you know. Here on the 4 hour, same thing, nothing to see. Let me have a look on the 15 minute. Let me see if there is anything on the 15. But really, there is no pattern for me. There is not many things for me here. This gap is something that maybe we can come and fill it up at some point in the future, you know. So that's something that we should pay attention to, because maybe we can false break this level, you know, go back down and then fill up this gap. So maybe if we false break this, reclaim, we can find a short from this level, you know, or from this area around here, and then we can basically have a profit target around this gap. I think it should be a killer trade with a very good risk reward. So right now at this German 30, I'm just gonna be looking, paying attention to this all-time high level. Okay, let's have a look at DXY. Okay, DXY, which is the dollar index. Here we're just in a range. Okay, just in a range, nothing to do, not much to say actually. We're just in a range. We are trying to break down the range, but again, it's very hard to break down in a very clean way because of the extension. We are very extended, you know, and then now we're just basically false break on the weekly. So be careful with equities, gold, things that inverse correlated with dollar, because dollar is false breaking support, you know. Looking here, support, right? This area is a big area of support, and we are false breaking the support. So gotta be careful. All right, let's go to gold. Here on the monthly, there is not much we can talk about. We're just basically in a very crazy uptrend here on the monthly, and we close still bullish. Not the best sort of bar, but we're still bullish, you know. But things start to get interesting here on the weekly, because on the weekly, you guys can see that we created a sort of reversal pattern here. That's a bearish pin bar, you know, on the weekly, and we got a break below and a close below. Okay, so that's basically a very reversal price action here. So that's why I'm not very bullish on gold. I think I'm actually on a short position right now, and I'll show you guys what I did. But basically here on every single time frame that I'm looking at, weekly, even the monthly, I feel like it's kind of done actually, this whole move, and it's time for us to mean revert, you know. And if we get a Fibonacci from this low, this lower low, sorry, this higher low, right, of this uptrend to the higher high, we can see that the 50%, it's all the way down here, 2,600. So it's a long way to go from here to that. And I think it makes a lot of sense for us to pull back a little bit, because it's just, this move is just nuts. It's just crazy. Let's go to the 15-minute. I'll show you guys the trade. I was basically selling out of this. You guys can see this order block, right? So we had a retest of this resistance area with this order block. You know, we got the found resistance, and that's basically a break and retest sort of strategy. I took some profits down here, down there, and now I'm holding the last piece, because maybe this is the lower high of the downtrend, right? Like this one. It got never broken, so you can see here, maybe we do something like that, right? So as long as my stop it's above the lower high, maybe I should be safe, and I can basically hold this trade for as long as I want. I know this is support, this whole area here is its support area, but again, the high time frame looks so bad that I think, you know, we should be going all the way back to 2,600 and do that pullback. Okay. Yeah, so gold is basically it. I'm not gonna be crazy bullish. I'm not gonna be I'm gonna be way more aggressive on the shorts. So for example, let's say I get stopped out, right? Breaks this high, and then maybe we go back below. Definitely I'm gonna be selling at the resistance. Okay. But for example, if we go down here, break the high and reclaim, I'm also gonna be long, but I'm gonna be in a I'm gonna be more conservative. That's what I want to say. I'm gonna be more conservative on the targets, because I know it's in a bearish territory right now. Okay. All right. So let's have a look on some crypto. Bitcoin, very quickly. The monthly close pretty bullish. And again, the DXY is looking bullish as well. So I'm not going to be crazy bullish on crypto too, because crypto is correlated with equities, inverse correlated with dollar. So if dollar goes up, Bitcoin probably is going to go down. Okay. So here we very basic analysis here, because Bitcoin is basically in this range. Okay. We false break the bottom of the range, we deviated, go back inside of the range. Now we are back at this ping pong sort of price action. Okay, so reclaim the range, maybe gonna go down to the bottom of the range, that's as a support, maybe gonna go up, you know, test a resistance. So now we're just back in the range, and in the range I just, you know, do the basics, which is I buy support and I sell resistance. So when I'm down here, I'm gonna be looking for longs. When I'm up here, I'm going to be looking for shorts, and that's it. And here in the middle of the range, I'm going to be careful. Okay, middle of the range is choppy. We don't know what's going to happen. You know, if we get like a Fibonacci here from there to there, you can see that the 50%, it's just above it. You know, we are finding some resistance now at this 38 area. There is also a order block in here. You know, so it makes sense to find some resistance there. And maybe we're gonna go back, we reclaim it, go back, test as a support. Maybe that could be a nice trade, a nice long trade, you know, a retest of the support. Okay, so Bitcoin is basically in a range. This is Ethereum. Let me get rid of that. I was just doing a test here on this thing. Let me turn this off. One sec. Log out. Okay, cool. Ethereum, again, we are at the bottom of the range, you know. So in here, I'm a little bit more bullish. Okay, I'm a little bit more bullish because we are at the bottom of the range. So now for me, it's time for us to go at least to the middle of the range. if not to the top of the range. Okay. Weekly, same thing, you know, nice bearish pin bar here at the bottom of the range, showing some strength. You know, the bulls are basically showing up now, and the first trouble area, in my opinion, will be this one, which is $2,000. You know, and it makes a lot of sense for us to go back that to 2,000, and then from there, I don't know what can happen. Maybe we pull back again. I don't know, but again, from here to there, it's, for me, it's makes a lot of sense. So Ethereum, I'm gonna be a little bit more bullish than Bitcoin, and right now we're just basically on the 5 minute here. I can see, you know, it's a weekend, so we're basically in a range, and let's see what's gonna happen with that. Maybe Ethereum, we can find a breakout trade of this range. You know, we false break the low here. You know, maybe that false break, then we're gonna go back there. You know, and then that should be a nice long trade, or breakout retest as well. You know, so all those trades I'm gonna be looking for this week on Ethereum. And anything else? I don't think so. Let me go to the 4 hour again just to see something here on the 4 hour. In the 4 hour, you guys can see that there is a sort of inverse head and shoulder, the head, and then we are basically creating the other shoulder here. You know, so it's a bullish pattern, basically. Solana, same thing. You know, same as ETH. Let's go here. Monthly, it looks a little bit better than ETH, actually. A little bit better, but again, we're just in at the bottom part of, you know, if you call all this a range, you know, that's the bottom of the range, that's the top of the range. So we found support at the bottom of the range. So what it's not good is that Bitcoin doesn't look that great. DXY looks bullish, so maybe they will struggle a little bit. AVAX, same thing, you know, bottom of the range. And XRP, we found support here of this level. Where is it? Here. You know, we were trying to break below a few times, and we found support. But we need to get away from here quickly. You know, like when we spend too much time at support, and one time there will be no buyers anymore. You know, because how many imagine how many times we tested this already. Look, this week, that one, 3 weeks, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, then we had this 8th week. You know, imagine going back here for the 9th time, 10th time. You know, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we need to get away from this. If this support is this support is very strong, it's showing strength, but you know, it look how every time we go back, we go deeper and deeper. You know, so it's gonna be tricky. You know, if this week it's not gonna close nicely, but as long as next week we start to go up and get away from there, we should be fine for XRP. But that's it. All right, guys. Talk to you guys inside of the community, and peace out.